I'm Jackie. I'm an Arizona realtor and have built a multi-million dollar business with my husband by using what I learned from being a teacher. Now I'm bringing the steps I took to leave the classroom and become a top producing agent and team owner. So grab your coffee, cherry vanilla Coke, or maybe even a cocktail and let's begin. What up? When I record these episodes, I always think to myself, like I know what the date is right now, like the date that I'm recording it, but then there's like the date that it's actually released. And then depending on when a listener is like finding the podcast and actually listening to the episode, it may be like a totally different time. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, these are the things that I think about. Anyhow, right now in present, it is almost summer vacay and I cannot wait. A little bit about me. I'm actually the youngest in my family. There are three siblings, so I'm the baby. Obviously, I live in Arizona. My brother, who's the oldest, lives in Kentucky, and then my sister, who's that middle child. And I'm joking. I love my sister, but she lives in Florida. So this summer, and actually right now it is 20 days away, but when this is released, it'll be not 20 days. But anyhow, okay, so my whole family, I'm flying all of the kids, like my kids, my husband and myself, we're all going to go to Siesta Key and we're going to stay there for 8 days and 7 nights. Super excited, cannot wait. And actually, it's been over 3 years since my sister and I have even like been together. Yeah, I know that sounds horrible, and it is, and it sucks. But my sister's in the medical field, and with COVID, she had zero time off. So, like, anyhow, this is the first time that the opportunity kind of presented itself, and so we're jumping on it. So, Florida, look out! The sisters are gonna be back together, and yeah, we're ready for a great time. So, anyhow, today's episode is about a topic that I really have a hard time with, if I'm being completely honest. It's a topic that makes my skin crawl, it gives me anxiety. But when I avoid this particular thing, it can result in burnout and the feeling of being overwhelmed. So, the topic is delegation or delegating. Obviously, it's no shock because the word's actually in the title of today's episode. But seriously, this area of my business is extremely hard. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I think everyone can kind of relate to. So, during my nearly 20 years in the classroom, I taught at five different schools. And of those five schools, I was only allowed to use the laminator at one. I mean, seriously, I don't understand why schools are so weird about the laminator and why are they always in the library? Like, why? I don't, because the lamenter makes noise, right? And in the library, you're supposed to be quiet. So why does that even work? Okay, well, anyhow. And why is there only one person who can actually like touch the laminator? And how is this magical job chosen? Like, is there an interview process? Like, I don't understand. Like, is there a special laminator school you have to go to? So, anyhow, this used to really bother me. It bothered me to no end, actually, because I had no control over when my stuff would be laminated. And, like, it never fails. Like, every teacher in the whole building wants stuff laminated at one time. And so, like, your stuff goes on the bottom of a pile, and then, like, you're worried, like, are they going to lose my stuff? Like, is it going to get mixed up? Is someone else going to get my stuff and then I'm not going to get it? And like, how good of a job are they really going to do? Guys, you know what I mean, right? Laminating is an art. Okay. Are they going to have bubbles? Are the bubbles going to be messed up? And you can't leave that paper long underneath the little roller or whatever before adding more. Like, you can't pause it. And the reason why is because if the stuff that you're laminating has a color to it, dude, it messes it up. Like, it bleeds it, and it's just, it's a whole mess. Okay, don't you? And you can't go fast, right, when you're laminating because then you're going to end up overlapping the papers, and that's going to be all messed up. And then you're going to have to create something else. And I'm sure it was teachers pay teachers, and it was probably had to be colored ink. And then the person in the office is going to get mad because like you had to. It's seriously. Or like my worst is when they don't pay close attention to the borders. Like the last thing I want is for you to only laminate part of my paper. So, why do so many schools have someone other than the teachers be able to laminate? It's simple because teachers need to spend their time working on tasks that only teachers can do. Now, I will tell you this. I worked at a school where the teachers weren't allowed to make copies. Now, guys, this made me crazy because, again, I had to give up control. But let's face it, a monkey could make copies, right? So, why do we have so much trouble giving up responsibilities? Control. Guys, real estate's the exact same. There will come a time in your business, if you're blessed with enough transactions, that you will need to delegate tasks. Now, my husband and I are starting to do that now, and I'm not going to lie, it's super hard. So, our actual real estate coach, that coaches us in our business, he said, Jackie, you cannot continue to be the admin and the trainer and the recruiter. Like, you cannot do all of this. We have to hire an admin. And I'm like, well, what's the admin going to do? And he's like, well, she's going to take some tasks off of your plate. So he had me write down every single thing that I did, like in detail, guys. This was like the most horrible list ever. And he looked at it and he's like, look, these are things that take up part of your day, and if your goal is you want to spend more time with your kids, you want to have more opportunities, you want to gain more wealth so that way you can give back or start a nonprofit or do whatever it is, then there's certain tasks that do not have to be done by you, right? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share 5 tasks that you should probably delegate. Um, Now, obviously, these are tasks that are paid positions. Okay, so it's not like you're just telling someone else to do it, like you're going to have to pay them to do it. So, obviously, I always tell people you don't want to start spending money until you're making money. But these are some awesome things that you should be doing. Okay, so here's some ideas. Okay, and they're in no particular order. Okay. The first one is prospecting. Now, if you're just getting started in real estate, you're not allowed to delegate out prospecting. I'm sorry. It's no, you have to actually do the prospecting, okay? And what prospecting is, if you're unsure, it's ways that you gain more business. Okay, so prospecting could be door knocking. Yes, you have to go knock on doors. What are you going to do when you actually have to go and talk to a stranger, guys? Like, just do the door knocking. Do it in your neighborhood. Do it with a buddy. Make sure you're safe. But no, you have to get out there and you have to meet people. Prospecting could be um, handing out business cards when you're out and about. Yes, you have to do that. You have to meet new people. It could be calling people that are in your sphere of influence. It could be calling past clients. It could be calling local businesses and seeing ways that you can kind of get in touch and like meet them. It could be, you know, any number of things. Okay. However, it will come a time in your business, hopefully you're blessed enough. We're just going to go ahead and speak that into existence. Anyone who's listening is going to have a very blessed and fruitful business, okay? So it may come a point when you need to hire an ISA. Now, an ISA is an inside sales agent, okay? Notice I said agent. They need to be a real estate agent, okay? But here's their job. They are the phone animal, okay? I hate being on the phone, guys. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love a good FaceTime. I love to be able to see people. But, like, if I'm just like talking on the phone, it can be, ugh. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to call one more person or I have to call 10 more people or whatever. But you know what? I do it. And I did it especially at the beginning of my business. Now, what an inside sales agent will do is, let's say that you have a team, okay? Or maybe it's not even a team. Maybe it's just you, okay? You're a solo agent. What this person is going to do is they are going to play a huge role in your real estate business because they are going to take care of the lead follow up. Okay. They are going to take prospects and turn them into actual clients, okay, on the phone. They're going to make sure that every single incoming lead that comes into either your CRM or whatever it is that you have set up, they are going to be immediately contacted because guess what? You can't do that. Okay, you're going to be so busy showing houses and, helping people purchase and writing contracts and doing all that stuff that you're not going to have time to immediately, as soon as your phone dings that you have a new lead, call them. So this person is actually going to do that for you. Now, in ISA, you can pay them however you want. A lot of people, what they do is they pay them a percentage. So let's say that, this person, and that's why they need to be a real estate agent, because it is unlawful to pay a commission to someone who is not a real estate agent on a real estate transaction. Okay. Um, so anyhow, let's say that they call all these leads. Okay, so they're calling them, they're calling them, they're calling them. And then let's say of the 100 that they call, maybe 10 of them result in either a listing appointment or a buyer consultation. And then of those 10, let's say that two of them actually start either the purchase, or like the process of purchasing a home, or the process of listing their home. Now, that agent is what caused that appointment to happen. Their follow up, their delegation, like what they were doing, okay? It served a purpose. So, what you would do then is you could actually pay them a commission on the sale or the purchase of that home, okay? Now, obviously, they need to be paid, to actually do their job. So maybe you would pay them a salary with also the option to receive commission on closed transactions. It's up to you, okay? And it's up to them. So it's a way that someone could actually, make some extra money, okay? Second thing, a virtual assistant. Now, a virtual assistant is someone who could create content for you to actually put on your social media. It could also be someone who is maybe actually running some of your social media pages. Now, this is not a task that you should give away immediately just because you hate social media. Because guess what? People are going to choose to like, follow, and trust you based on you as a person. Okay. So you need to really get to know the people who are following you, and you need to create video of you. So a virtual assistant is kind of like the icing on the cake. So you need to create the cake. All right. Number three, a transaction coordinator. Now, a lot of people get, their panties in a wad about a transaction coordinator. Okay. A transaction coordinator is still a real estate agent. They are not less than a real estate agent. They are your partner in this transaction, okay? And they deserve the exact same respect that you would give to a cross agent, okay? Your transaction coordinator is the person who's going to make sure that this transaction goes off without a hitch. They're going to ensure that all the deadlines are, followed, that all of the forms and that your entire transaction is flawless and within compliance within your state. And yes, they receive a payment on the close of that transaction. Okay. That is negotiated with the transaction coordinator and yourself. Okay. Now, should you get one of these right out the get go? Well, I don't know. That's kind of up to you. Okay. I can see it both ways. One, I think that every real estate agent needs to understand how a transaction goes. They need to understand how many days you have to do an inspection, how many days you have to give your inspection once, things that you want to get fixed, all of these different things. That's important to understand your state law. Now, some people would also say, look, you don't have to know how to do these pieces of paper. Hire someone to do it for you and let them do their job and you do your job. Okay, so, it's up to you. Another thing, number four, a showing agent. Now, a showing agent is someone who can actually open doors. Now, notice I said agent. Yes, they have to be a real estate agent to be able to access the keys to these homes to open up these homes for a client. Okay, it has to be a licensed real estate agent. So what a showing agent's going to do is they're going to show the houses for you. So why would you do that? Well, let's say you're working with buyer Bob, and buyer Bob has just started looking at houses and he wants to look at 5 different houses on a Saturday. And that particular Saturday is when your daughter is going to be having her dance recital. Now, do you want to miss your daughter's dance recital? No. So what do? You pay a showing agent to open those 5 doors. You're going to pay them cash through Venmo or Zelle or whatever, okay? You're going to pay them that to show them. Now, you're still representing buyer Bob. Let's say he likes one of the houses and he wants to write an offer. You're still going to write the offer for them. But guess what? The time that it took for someone to show those homes, you were gifted that time. You were gifted that time with your family, okay? And that's super important. Now, lots of people, they don't want to do that. They're like, no, I'm going to show the houses, all of them. Okay, that's fine. Maybe you don't like your family. I like my family. I want to see my family. So, yes, I do have a showing agent who shows homes for me because guess what? I don't have time. Now, could a client be upset with that? Yes, they could, especially if it comes out of nowhere. This is what I tell my buyers when we have a buyer consultation. I tell them, look, I am going to take care of you. I'm going to ensure that you are treated with the utmost respect, and I am going to do, I'm going to give you 110% on this transaction, okay? Because I know you trust me, and there's lots of people you could pick, and I appreciate you picking me. So do my kids. However, I do have certain, I don't want to really say boundaries, but yes, they are kind of boundaries. One of those is my time. Okay. Now, because we're in a market where you really do have to be quick, I may not be able to show you this home immediately as soon as it hits the market and immediately as soon as you want to go view it. So, what I have is I have a group of showing agents who also work on my behalf. So, should you want to see a house, I want you to know that nothing is going to stand in your way of being able to see that house. Not my child's dance recital, not my child's volleyball game, not, dinner with my family, nothing. Okay. So if there is ever a house that you want to see, you let me know when it is that you want to see it, and I will make it happen at that time. Now, it may not be me that shows it. However, it will be one of the agents within our office, or it may be someone within my company. And we're going to make sure that you're able to get into every house. Now, guess what? They like that. Why do they like that? Because they know that I am committed to making sure that when they want to view a house, they're going to view a house. But I am also starting the boundary of this is how I do business, though. Okay, so I'm not going to be at your beck and call. However, I will have someone who will take care of you in the event that I am unavailable. Okay, so yes, it's fine to have a showing agent. Now, people always ask me, how much do you pay? Well, it depends. I know people who pay $50 a door. Now, if you were showing five houses and they were all in the same neighborhood, I don't think someone should ask you $250 for five houses that are all in the same neighborhood. However, if you're in a city kind of like me, lots of people are looking in the East Valley. Well, there are lots of different cities in the East Valley, and you could be in a car for multiple hours showing, several homes. So I think you really need to put it into consideration. But again, it's negotiated between you and the agent who's going to show these houses. All right, the fifth thing, open houses. Now, as a brand new agent, should you be doing open houses? Absolutely, 100%. Every single weekend. Every single weekend, do an open house. People always say, well, I don't have no listings. Well, no duh, you're brand new. You're going to call every single agent who's at your brokerage in your area, and you're going to say, look, I'm a newer agent. I want some buyers. You have a house that's listed. I want to show it open. Oh, and they say, well, I already have an open house. It's from 9 to 3. That's fine. Will they let me hold it open from 3 until 5? And then you stay there for those 2 hours. And then guess what? People are going to start seeing you as someone who is one, dependable, you're super hungry, you're motivated, and agents are going to start calling you saying, hey, I have a new listing, or I have several new listings. Which one would you like to show open? Or can you do this open house for me this weekend? And what are you going to get at those open houses? You're going to get buyers. And those are going to be people that are going to start filling up your pipeline. Now, as an experienced agent, or as an agent who now has a huge referral network and you've got all that stuff and you're going good, should you be doing open houses? No. Guys, let somebody else do your open houses. Now, if it's a specific client that maybe has requested you stay there, I don't know. Maybe they've got like jewels or something. I don't know. Maybe they're adamant that someone's going to steal. Okay. Then, yes, take care of your client. Okay. However, if that's not the case, give up the open house. Give it to agents who are starting out, because guess what? When you were starting out, someone gave you their open houses. All right. The purpose of an open house is not to help sell a property. That's not it, guys. It's to get buyers. Okay. And if you are strong enough in your business that you are not needing to prospect at open houses for buyers, then let someone else do it. Now, look, I'm the very first person to admit my faults. And one of my faults Actually, it's probably my only one. No, I'm just joking. Okay, but one of them is delegating task. I think I can do it better. I think I can do it better than anybody else, right? But is my better really worth my time? So here's a suggestion that I have for you. I want you to determine what is your hourly rate. Now, just like any job, the more experience you have, the higher your rate. Now, if you are a real estate agent and you are earning 75,000 GCI a year, okay, as a realtor, then your hourly rate is about $32. Okay, about $32 an hour. And the reason why is because, like, if you take, 40 hours a week, all that stuff, okay, and then let's say that you're making 125,000 GCI a year. Your hourly rate's at about $65 an hour. Okay. As you continue to earn more GCI based on whatever factor it is, maybe you're closing more transactions, or maybe your price point has increased. Okay. Guys, know your hourly rate. If you're making a high hourly rate, you should not be doing tasks that someone for a much lower hourly rate could do. Why? Because you can spend that time doing tasks that make you more money, right? These are things that someone else can't do. All right. So remember, in life, you have two things. You either have time or you have money. Do not spend all of your time when you have money to delegate tasks to other people. Okay? All right, guys, if you are thinking about a switch to real estate, I would love to support you and bring you into our collective group of agents. Guys, we have partners in multiple states, and throughout our coaching and training and support, they are leaving the classroom and going full time. Or they're able to just supplement their income and stay in the classroom and save for the future. Let's connect and chat on ways that I can help you reach your goals. Going into real estate can seem scary. Starting something new can be a change, but yes, you keep the attention of 24 to 32 children a day for 7 hours. You maintain peace in a sea of hormones and body odor. You can do it, and I'm here to help. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Jackie Durbin AZ and at Teachers in Real Estate. Also, like, share, and rate this podcast. And if you need any help or you have state specific questions, reach out to me. I would gladly help you. Thanks for listening, guys. See you next time.